Hello and welcome back, students. How are you doing today? I'm Anushka, your computer host, and today we will begin learning about computers. It's such a fun subject and such a subject with so much of utility. You know that, right? Lockdown has happened and we are into this online classes. But was it even possible if we did not have any devices, laptops, technology? Yeah, without technology and computers, it was just not possible. So, as a student, as a citizen, as a person, this is something very essential, and let's just get started studying this fun subject. So, for the course, we will use our IT Planet Kilobyte Books series by PM Planet Publishers. Alright, children, let's get on the contents page and see the kind of chapters we have. Okay, so to begin with, we will study with computer and its classifications. Second, computer inside the system unit. Then we will study about the Windows, stepwise thinking and reasoning, and so on and so forth. So let's begin with our first chapter, which is computer and its classification. Alright, so what is a computer? Classification of computers according to purpose, according to size. This is Lappy, and what does he say? Let's find out. Hi friends, welcome to the new class. Till now you must be familiar with the computer. I'm sure by your age you've already studied computer for 3 years, first, second and third, and you already are using computers in your everyday life, whether you're using a laptop, desktop, or even your mobile phones. They are a type of computer as well. So hi friends, welcome to the new class. Till now you must be familiar with the computer. Now it's time to learn the different types of computers available today. What is a computer? We have already studied the definition of computers in our previous classes. A computer is an electronic machine. Yes, it runs with electricity that takes instructions from us and gives the result after processing them. Yes, we also know that we give it some input, then we process it in some way or the other, and then what we get is the output or the result. So computer works very fast and can do millions of tasks in a second. It can be classified into different ways according to its different shapes, sizes and working. Yeah, so we've already aware of all these things, like computers are divided into computers are classified into various ways according to their shapes, sizes and working. For example, phone. A phone is a smaller version of computer, so the size is small. Laptop is another version of computer which is portable. So like that, let's get started. Okay, classification of computer according to purpose, according to size. So you have to prepare this chart on your notebooks, guys. Make sure to do this so that it will register in your mind, so that you will always be prepared with this one. Okay, according to purpose, analog, digital, hybrid. According to size, supercomputer, mainframe computer, server, microcomputer and mobile device. We just talked about mobile device and its size, right? So that's it. Okay, so according to purpose, analog computer. An analog computer takes different inputs and gives an approximate result after comparison. It works on the principle of analogous data. Surprisingly enough, a clinical thermometer, voltmeter, speedometer, fuel gauge, scale computer, so all types of computers, because they calculate something now. So thermometer calculates our temperature. Whenever you are having fever, what does your mother do? What does your father do? They take a thermometer and then they put it inside your mouth, under the tongue, and record your temperature using this thermometer. So it is a type of analog computer. Then voltmeter, it measures voltage. Speedometer, it calculates speed. Every car, every two-wheeler has a speedometer, right? Then we have a scale machine. Digital computer. Now we'll talk about digital computer. Digital computer works on the principles of binary mathematics. In binary, so binary means 2. Okay, binary means 2. Now what are those two values? They are simply 0 and 1. The computer only understands 0 and 1, nothing else. All the English that we see, all the Hindi that we see on the computer, anything that we see is first converted into zeros and ones, and only then computer understands the language. Microcomputer, laptop, digital wristwatch, calculator, etc. are some of the examples of digital computers. So we've studied the examples. Now we will talk about the hybrid computers. Hybrid. Hybrid computers are the combination of both analog and digital computers. A hybrid computer system offers a cost-effective method that is used to perform complex simulations. ECG machine is an example of a hybrid computer. Have you seen an ECG machine in a hospital? It measures heartbeats of patient. Uske display pe, on the display you have seen those waveforms, right? Sinusoidal waveforms. So this is hybrid computer. It just does not give the values. It shows the waveform on the display of the ECG machine. Now we've studied about the types. Now we will see according to sizes. Supercomputer. Supercomputers is the biggest and the most powerful computer, and it's very expensive as well. It can perform large and complex calculative tasks at very high speed. They can take 1 trillion instructions per second. Now that is very, very, very much. They are found in big organizations. They are used for research purposes. I mean, normally we don't use them. That they are used for scientific, astronomic, military, for all such purposes. Even nuclear power stations, animation movies also. So they are used for such high-end purposes. Then we have a mainframe computer. It's also a very large and powerful computer, but it's less powerful than a supercomputer. Obviously, supercomputer तो name ही suggest करता है इसका that it is a super, like Superman, just like that's a supercomputer is the Superman of computers. It's now coming to the mainframe machine. It's also an expensive computer. Mainframe has a capacity to host multiple operating systems. So in a mainframe we can add multiple operating systems. We can also use Windows, we can use Linux, we can use 2 Windows at the same time. We can use Windows 8, Windows 10, like that. Size, it's large, normally the size of a closet. So closet is our almirahs. So generally they are about the size of our closets, our almirahs. It's found in large business houses or government centers. It can process millions of instructions per second. Million is 10 lakh. It is mostly used for scientific research and doing mathematical operations, bulk mathematical operations. Now we will study about the server. Now we will study about the server. Server is the lifeblood of any network. It controls access to this hardware, software and other resources on a network and provides a centralized storage area for programs, data and information. So there are huge network systems. They store data. So we can have a server in our computer labs. What will it do? We will use it. It's mostly found. Firstly, we see the location of it. It's mostly found in offices, banks and schools. Okay, so what does a server do now? We put all our programs, data and information on one system, and then it can be accessed and used on any particular system. So we do not need to install, let's say we want to install Microsoft Office in each computer, but we do not need to do that with a server. We just need to install our program on the server, and then it will be reflected on each one of our systems automatically. Now we'll study about the microcomputer. Microcomputers are the ones that we use. So micro and computer, they are also called personal computers. The most important part of a microcomputer is a microprocessor. The chip or microprocessor is the brain of any computer. Peripherals are the ones which are attached to the computers. They are the keyboard, mouse, monitors. They're extremely essential. Yeah. Without them, it would be hard to use a computer only. Location. It's mostly found in offices, homes and schools. Everybody uses them for personal uses. Designed small enough to be used by a single person. So desktop computer is a type of microcomputer which is called a personal computer. What are the uses? Yeah, used for creating documents, doing calculations, keeping records, and taking online classes is just another example of them. Next, we have desktop computer. Desktop computer is a computer made for use on desk in schools, homes, and offices. A desktop computer is designed in such a way that the system unit, input unit, output devices they all fit entirely on a desk or a table. Then we have a mobile device. It is used to store data permanently on memory inside it, or some small storage media such as memory cards. These days, the mobile come with memories such as 128 GB. Then we do not necessarily need a external memory card anymore. So they have been just gone out of use, or it can be said that they have been deprecated. Size: small enough to carry in a bag or pocket. Now, I think I just need to skip this paragraph because you're all aware about this. Laptop computers. Laptop computers are also known as notebook. Yes, because they look like a notebook. They fit in your bag, and that's why they are called a notebook. They can be easily carried from any one place to another. It has a built-in keyboard, touchpad, and a display screen. So the best part about laptop is the portability. Everyone loves laptop for this purpose. Tablet PC is a special type of portable computer which has a touch screen. You can use your fingers or a digital pen to use this tablet PC. I'm sure as a student, as a youngster of this generation, everyone's aware about this tablet PC. You can call them an iPad or Android tablets. They are equally accessible and portable. They resemble smartphone, but the only difference is that they're larger than smartphones. Now we will see about the smartphone. Smartphone is an internet-enabled phone. Internet-enabled phone. In addition to basic phone facilities, it allows you to send and receive emails, access the internet, usually for an additional fee. So access the internet, yeah, of course, internet has to be bought from our internet service providers. Let's say we can have a Wi-Fi, or our SIM network providers provide us the internet facilities. Right. So then we have an ebook reader. How many of you are aware about Amazon Kindle? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll definitely write back to you. Then we have a smartwatch. It is a mobile device with a touchscreen display designed to be worn on the wrist. It can either work on its own or paired with a smartphone. It can show you time, track your physical activities, and show notifications like messages, emails, calls, and social networks. So smartwatches are equally fun sort of computers. What do? They track our physical activity. So how many kilometers have you run? How many steps have you taken? What's your heartbeat right now? They track all these things. And then we have a digital camera. It's a mobile device that allows users to take pictures and show photographed images digitally instead of a traditional film. After taking the photograph, you can download a copy of the image from the digital camera to the hard disk of your computers. Then we have game console. So the three chief companies that make gaming consoles are Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony PlayStation. So I'm pretty sure you as students are already aware of all these things. There's nothing new for you. You just have to read this chapter and you'll remember it by heart. So gaming console is a mobile computing device designed for a single player or multiple player video games. So they use handheld controller. What is a handheld controller? So something that we can hold in our hands, and these are called handheld controllers. As an input device, a television screen as an output device. We usually connect them with our television screens. They already come up with hard disks and processors and whatnot. They come with the optical discs or CDs and memory cards for storage. So we have seen, right, the popular ones are Microsoft Xbox, Nintendo Wii, Sony PlayStation. With that, we have completed the chapter. Now we'll look at some of the exercises. Tick the correct answer. The computer that gives an approximate result after comparison is, so approximate result is the one which is analog. because we saw that, right? It compares and it gives us it does not give us the exact result, it gives us the approximate results. For example, the thermometer, it gives us the approximate result, and we look at it manually and then calculate it on our own. The computer that works on the principle of binary mathematics is binary. So binary is 0 and 1. So binary is anything that is 0 and 1. And we talked about, right, which computer understands only 0 and 1? The answer is digital. An example of mobile devices. So which is a mobile device? Desktop, mainframe or smartphone? Of course, it's smartphone. A laptop computer is also called a laptop. Is it called a smartphone? No, I don't think so. Tablet PC? No. So laptop is called a notebook because it looks like one, folds like one, fits in a bag, and that's it. So with that, we have completed the chapter. And students, if you find any problem with these exercises, just let me know and do all these fun activities, and just send us the pictures in your WhatsApp groups. Take care, students. Bye bye.